All right, it's literally 2 a.m. where I am, and this news just dropped, and I couldn't not tell y'all about this. Road to Glory information for EA College Football 25 just dropped. And let me tell you guys, I just read through this entire article. I'm going to break it down for you. This is everything you could have dreamed in this game mode, Road to Glory, and more. If you grew up on this, you're going to be obsessed with what I'm about to tell you about Road to Glory. They absolutely nailed it. I cannot stress that enough. But first things first, your creation, okay? So when you create a player in Road to Glory, you now have 4 avenues that you can choose. The first one is an elite prospect, a blue chip prospect, a contributor, and an underdog. And each one will have its level of challenges. If you choose the elite path, you'll be a 5-star prospect. You'll have the highest overall rating starting off. You'll get, more like X factors, if you will. They call them mental abilities, skill points, etc. If you choose blue chip, you'll start off as a 75 overall player, a 4-star recruit. A contributor is a 3-star recruit. And just the further you go down, the less abilities and mental abilities and, like in-game specialties you have as a player. So if you want a really difficult challenge, start as underdog. If you want to have a lot of fun straight away, start as an elite player. Keep in mind, if you choose elite, you're probably starting straight away. If you choose underdog, you're probably not a starter straight away. You're going to have to earn the trust of your coach, the trust of your team, and become a much better player first. Then you choose your position. Obviously, each position has its different pathways, its different abilities, different ways to upgrade, but you can choose quarterback, halfback, wide receiver, and middle linebacker and cornerback. So I know a lot of us like to, have a couple different Road to Glory modes. Now you can play on the defensive side like you could in previous games. But any position that you choose, you'll have an archetype. So for example, if you do choose a quarterback, you can choose the field general, the scrambler, or the improviser. If you're the field general, you're going to have opportunities to get like these X factors, if you will, these mental abilities like step up, where it's going to improve your ability to step up and make a clean pass in the pocket. If you're a scrambler quarterback, it's going to allow you to throw on the run more accurately, to obviously be a faster player, to be a better scrambler, better in the option game. So each one that you choose will, give you better presets for the type of player that you want to be. Obviously, you can enter in, customize all of your information. And something that is very cool are the mental abilities that they've added to the game, okay? The first mental ability is fan favorite. Now, if you are fan favorite, you have to have a GPA above 3.0 in order for that to be activated. A road dog, in order to be a road dog, this is tied to your brand meter, which we'll talk about, but it allows you to perform better in difficult environments. Clear-headed is pretty much like no matter what's going on around you, like you are ready to go. You're not bothered by any sort of pressure. You're going to perform no matter what's happening, right? But man, I'm telling y'all, like this is so exciting. You can customize so much. And we'll bring us to like the recruit part of it. When you're going through the recruiting process, you're going to have a local TV reporter interview you. She's going to ask you some questions. What matters to you? Do you want to win a national title? Do you want to get better as a player? NIL? And all of the answers that you give will determine what schools ultimately are interested in you, as well as, you can't be an underdog profile like a 2-star player and expect Alabama to offer you, it's just not going to happen that way, okay? But ultimately, with the information that you give them, that will just determine what schools are interested in you, and you can see if they've actually offered you a scholarship. You can see what your projected role is for that team, and then ultimately, if you commit, obviously it's going to take you through that process. But weekly management, there's a lot of things that you can do in week, and there's a lot of different areas that you need to focus on. So let's talk about some of those. Firstly, you can upgrade your player in week, and that is by practicing. They have mini games similar to Madden. You can do mini games with your team, or you can do individual mini games, and it's the same thing as Madden: gold, silver, bronze. So depending on how you perform, that will give you more XP to improve your player. But you can also simulate the mini games. And if you don't feel like playing them, you'll still be, just like Madden, you'll still be able to get some XP. But you can see there's a couple different ways about it. This is like a individual one. And, they've also got group opportunities as well. But something that I love about this is they put like the student athlete, they made that a big, I guess, priority in this game, which is what we all wanted to see. So there's a couple things that matter a lot. And it says, by default, you will have 5 energy points to spend each week. In a short week, you will play on Thursday. You'll have only 4 energy points to spend. Conversely, in a free week, if you have a bye, you have 6 energy points to spend each week. And as a student athlete, managing your time off the field is important as well. Each week, you'll need to balance responsibilities, which is represented by energy. Okay, so you need to find a way to become a well-rounded and successful student athlete, because if you have under a 3 GPA, you will not play at all. Like, your coach isn't going to play you if you have under a 3.0 GPA. So a lot of things that you'll focus on: academics, leadership. Leadership is actually important because it will determine if the team around you meets their potential as players, or if you're not meeting academic requirements, your leadership might be really bad. It might determine the way a coach distrusts you or trusts you, and ultimately it will determine if the team around you is going to be building with you. Your health, we'll talk about that. That's obviously a priority. Training and your brand. So let's start with the academics. So you're going to have your GPA, and like I said, if it's under 3.0, or is it 2.0? I think it's 2.0. I'm sorry. If it's under 2.0, you will not play. If it's over 3.0, you will have the fan favorite mental ability unlocked, but if it's under 3, you won't have that fan favorite unlocked, if that makes sense. So each week, test readiness. Each week, spend time on academics you'll be studying, which will improve your test readiness. This is essential for performing well on midterm exams. If your test readiness is low, your likelihood of failing an exam will increase. It says every week you have the opportunity to allocate energy towards studying, which will boost your test readiness. You have midterms in week 8 and week 15 of the regular season. And obviously that will determine your GPA, which will also determine how much your coach trusts you and if you'll actually be playing in a game or not. Again, maintaining a high GPA has several benefits. The fan favorite mental ability: if your GPA is above 3.0, it will be activated. If it's below that, you won't have that ability turned on. Also, weekly coach trust bonuses. Your GPA will affect if your coach trusts you or not. We talked about that. As far as leadership, I did touch on this a little bit, but they say it's a vital role of being a student athlete, influencing not only your relationship with your coach and teammates, but also your overall dynamic and performance. Spending time on team building activities will improve your leadership skills. And then if we scroll down, there's a part here where it talks about how you can either bring your team down or up. Okay, here. Your leadership also significantly impacts how fast your teammates progress. A strong leader acts as a force multiplier, making your teammates better every day, helping them achieve their full potential. On the other hand, a poor leader can drag their teammates down, resulting in less than 100% XP from their teammates. Leadership is also affecting your team's starting composure. A good leader can rally the team and get everyone pumped for a big game. So if you're a bad leader, these more difficult games, let's say you're going to Happy Valley, it might not start off really well for you. And then if you reach excellent leadership status, you'll activate clear-headed ability, which basically means you're cool, calm, collected no matter where you're playing. That's one of those mental abilities. Now, your health is more important than it's ever been in college football 25. You actually have to manage your body. Like, in the week, you have certain skill points that you can spend to, go and recover, spend time recovering, get your body right if you have a certain injury. And there will be times where if you are injured to a certain point, your coach might not actually start you. He might have to sit you. So you have to decide, do I spend my time in academics for my test, or I got this injury I really need to recover on, or NIL, which we'll talk about here in a second, or do I want to train, improve my player, gain XP, my overall, I guess, grade as a player, overall, rating as a player, right? The next one is brand. This is also new. I don't remember this being in any other college football game, and this is really like highlighting the whole social media presence that we now have in the world, okay? Your brand is representation of your off-field status and influence as a student athlete. Building a strong brand can open up numerous opportunities and benefits. You have the opportunity to grow your brand and potentially become a global phenom. Your brand is represented by the number of followers you have, the more you gain, etc. So if you have a high brand, then ultimately at some point you unlock the ability to have an NIL deal. Now the NIL deals, they can help you with on-field performances and off-field performances, but you have to decide which NIL deal is actually worth it for you. For example, if there's an NIL deal out there, but it means you have to spend 3 of your tokens each week, and you're not going to be able to, meet a requirement for your GPA or whatever the case may be, you just have to weigh that out as you go. Now, pretty cool. There will be certain scenarios and dilemmas in the span of your time in college football, and there's not really a wrong decision. Just every decision that you make will shape the path of your gameplay, if that makes sense. So for example, you got a teammate who says, do you want to drive to our morning class together? Gotta love these 8:30 a.m. lectures. You can decide to skip it or drive together. And it says sleeping in, getting extra rest helps you. Your back and ribs have improved by 3. So you literally help your body improve, but you're also negatively impacting your GPA. It's really smart how they've done that. Another one here, I got alerted you missed your 8:30 government class. Well, not only did you miss class, you also missed a pop quiz. I suggest showing up next time. That's from your academic advisor, and your GPA goes down. So I think it's brilliant what they've done. As far as NIL deals, we talked about this. Certain ones give you in-game bonuses, improving your attributes, enhanced catching ability, increased speed, better stamina, off-field, your meters, increasing your number of followers, right? Like improving your brand overall. And then you have to decide if an NIL deal is the right one for you. So you can see an example here from Chef Sporting Goods. This is an offer, and their proposal is a 2-week contract for the cost of 1 energy per week. You receive 500 followers each week of the contract. Do you take the deal? Do you not? And the next thing we'll talk about is the coach trust. So we've seen this before in college football games, but when you are recruited, you won't always be a starter straight away. Sometimes there will be someone else who's a starter. Now, you will gain trust with your coach in practices. You'll gain trust with him in games by being a good student, by being a good leader, and eventually you'll have an opportunity to challenge the position ahead of you. Now, you can fail this challenge and you won't be able to re-challenge for a couple of weeks. You got to rebuild up that trust meter, but you can win the battle. And ultimately, it's just a really cool way of like immersing yourself in the world of college football, right? So yeah, man, this is extremely, extremely exciting. I cannot wait to play this game mode. This is absolutely going to be my favorite game mode. But pretty much similar to Madden, but in a different way. You can upgrade these different attributes, mental abilities, physical abilities. All these things are upgradable with XP. As you earn it throughout the game. You can upgrade specific skills, and it will upgrade, a whole bunch. Like, for example, elusiveness will upgrade your agility, change of direction. This is like what you see in Madden, so it's not really that groundbreaking, if you will. Now, this is really, really cool, guys. They have like a new camera for your Road to Glory. How clean is that camera look? Like, am I overreacting, or is that like the best camera we've had ever in a Road to Glory game? It almost reminds me of like the NFL 2K game, which came out a long time ago, but I am obsessed with that camera mode. Now, of course, you can still change it if you want, and in game you'll actually be able to manage your wear and tear. So in game you'll have to make decisions like, okay, my right knee is actually about to be seriously injured. Do I run the ball on this play? You'll actively be able to track that. Or, okay, instead of rushing for more yards, do I get out of bounds to protect my health because I have a serious rib injury? Like, all these things are going to be going through your mind. And again, keep in mind that if your injury risk is too high, your coach could actually pull you from the game. Okay, play calling. This is very cool. Let's say you're the quarterback. Well, if you don't have enough coach trust, he's only going to give you one play. You're not going to be able to audible. That's it. Eventually, you'll be able to build up more coach trust where you can ask for alternate plays, or you'll be given like 3 plays in a time that you can choose from. So super cool, like very much in real life, right? If you're a young quarterback, your coach probably is not going to trust you to run the offense. But Bo Nix in his last couple of years at Oregon, hey, you run that offense seamlessly on your own. Now, the transfer portal is something that is obviously relatively new for us. in the Road to Glory segment, if you will, but it's pretty much the same thing as being recruited. You can transfer if you want. You'll see what teams are interested, what your projected role will be. And then obviously they talk about like how many bowl games do you want to win? Do you want to be an All-American? What are your goals? And the biggest news, which we were all hoping for, anyone who's played Road to Glory, you out there, you were hoping for this announcement. Okay. Y'all ready for this? Let me find it. Okay. So once you've conquered college football, your adventure is just beginning. We're incredibly excited about the seamless transition to Madden NFL 25 Superstar mode, where you can continue your unique career in the NFL. I mean, that is exactly what we wanted. Guys, could they have hit bigger on this career mode? I can't think of something I wanted that they didn't give us. I mean, I'm so excited. I'll definitely be on this channel creating content around Road to Glory. So if you don't have it or you don't have one of the systems, definitely subscribe, because I will be going throughout the entire thing. I will show you guys my career as well as a dynasty mode. So do me a massive favor, hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you excited as I am? Because this is like everything I could have dreamed of, for real.